Okay, let's take another question. This one is from Michael. In launching an MVP, is it better to focus on acquiring a large number of users or demonstrating a revenue stream? Great question. This is the best question so far. Absolutely, Mike. Let me just rephrase that question, which is, when you're launching your startup, should you focus on acquiring users or getting revenue in the door? Just such a good question. In 2016, I think you want to have both switches flipped on. In other words, be like Uber or Thumbtack, where they're making a portion of the transaction every month and they have monetization on. I have one marketplace that I'm working with. They don't have monetization on. They have good growth, but people don't take it as seriously as another one I have where the growth is happening and the revenue is happening. And here's the thing. If it's never too early to get revenue, it's never too early to turn it on to find out if people are willing to pay for your product. So if you make a SaaS product, you don't charge for it, you don't know how much you could charge for it. And here's the other thing. If you're making a little bit of money, you can put it back into the product. It just makes everything more real. Now, I'm not saying for a photo sharing app, you're going to turn on monetization. And for an advertising, going out and selling ads when you have no inventory is pointless. But for things that are outside of consumer apps that are advertising based, I think turning on revenue early and figuring it out will get you more credibility with investors. And let's face it, we moved from the age of excellence a couple of years ago into the age of performance, when traction matters, and showing traction on revenue, even if it's small, is very meaningful. I see lots of investors looking at 100 transactions or 50 transactions in a product and discussing what the size of those transactions were. Did they have repeat transactions? So a little bit of revenue going through the system can lead to a really big discussion and make an investor more confident in giving you more money to pursue your vision. Also, you can, if you're making money, use that as a weapon in marketing and hiring against your competitors. So if you have revenue coming in the door and you're not burning a ton of capital, you can reinvest. So your competitor might be growing faster than you and you're growing half as fast in the short term, but you're making a ton of money, and then all of a sudden you just go rocket shipping past them because you can hire sales executives, you can hire a marketing company, you can do advertising because you have a revenue stream. You figured out the flywheel. Figuring out the flywheel is what it's all about in 2016, Michael, and I highly recommend you figure out both early. Just think about all the time and effort and money you spend going to meetings, going across town, getting stuck in traffic from Palo Alto all the way up to San Francisco, out to Oakland, traveling across the country, going to Seattle, going down to LA, back to New York. It is exhausting and it is a waste of time and money. Most meetings could occur with the help of GoToMeeting, and they would occur flawlessly. I know because I do these meetings all the time. In fact, I've been meeting with a dozen entrepreneurs every week over GoToMeeting, back to back to back, recording these meetings and sharing them back with the entrepreneurs as I give them feedback for when they come to the Launch Festival in March 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, in fact. And I can only do it with GoToMeeting because everybody can use any product they have, computer, tablet, smartphone, doesn't matter what operating system, it just works everywhere. And it is HD quality with perfect HD sound and the ability to share screens. And it never hiccups, it never has bandwidth problems, it just always works. And that to me is the key. If you're gonna do these kind of virtualized meetings, they can't be breaking up and they can't have poor fidelity. They have to be perfect. So here is your call to action. This is what I want you to do right now. I want you to go to GoToMeeting.com and try it free for 30 days. There is nothing to lose. Visit GoToMeeting.com and click the Try It Free button. Do it now and have your first meeting up and running in minutes. It literally works so simple that I have like little Google Calendar Chrome extension where it puts a GoToMeeting button every time I create a meeting, and I just press boop, GoToMeeting, and it generates a code, gives everybody the code, everybody knows the link, boom, and it just works. So go ahead and go to GoToMeeting.com and get your free 30-day trial. It's a great product. I've been using it for years. I love it. It's a pleasure for me to read an ad about GoToMeeting because I don't have to read it because I use it. It's literally on the list of my top 10, 20 products that I use every week. It just makes me super efficient in meeting with entrepreneurs. So thanks to our friends at GoToMeeting. And if you're a super fan of the show, go ahead and thank at GoToMeeting on Twitter. They love to see your support of the program. Okay, let's get back to this episode.